with the incoming 747s. I mean, it just changed the business dramatically overnight. You know, the lid literally blew off.
Well, the 747 has flown millions of people this past year.
Some of the first years that I was there, I think we were doing like $10 million a year at the airport. And the downtown store, I mean, during its heyday, would do $1 million a day. I mean, it was mind-boggling.
You know, we were just trying to make a buck, and that seemed like a good way to make a buck.
It was an exciting time. I mean, every day was like getting up to the kickoff, because it would be always something very dramatic, very exciting about it. We drank a lot of champagne, we drank a lot of everything. but it is, you know, when you work hard, you worked hard, and when we played hard, we played hard as well.
What was the buzz for you at that stage? Was it the business or the making the money, or both?
I guess it was the success of the business, you know, so we started with nothing, and now look what we've got.
Well, the money began to grow pretty quickly, and I would say by the early 70s, the profits were rolling up very quickly. By that time, it was more than a single duty-free shop. They had bid elsewhere, and they were the largest duty-free retailer in the world. The volume by that time was $3 billion a year or so. And because of the structure that had been put in place, virtually all of those profits were tax-free.
I grew up with my parents having these parties and having a grand old time. We were the house where people came and had barbecues and had parties, and people always came with their kids. It was always kids and adults parties.
I enjoyed what I did. I enjoyed particularly the people that I worked with, and I was always thinking that I don't need another $1 million.
But as the profits rolled in and the four partners reveled in their multi-million-dollar lifestyles, Chuck began to realize the effects that great wealth could have, not only on him, but also on his family.
My dad was kicking us in the butt since we were 14. Get out the door, do this yourself, figure it out. He was pushing us to be active and sporty and tough.
I felt that they should have the opportunity to see how money is earned. And they knew that there's a difference between what you make and what you're given.
More than anything, he wanted us to have goals and passions. And he thought, well, how could they have this? They're born with everything already. You know, people have to fight and strive. So he made sure we did.
I remember having a conversation with Chuck and quoting to him, which I can only do approximately, the statement that the Reverend Gates made to John D. Rockefeller, in which he said to Rockefeller, "Your wealth is rolling up, and if you don't do something about it, it will crush you and crush your family." And Chuck kind of got that. He is uncomfortable with displays of wealth and lavishness, and I think that grew over time. I think there were times when he enjoyed entertaining people at some of the houses that the family then owned. So I think there were things about it that he enjoyed, but the growth of the disquietude eventually outweighed the pleasure at being able to entertain and bring people together.
There's a halfway mark where we were living a certain life. You know, my dad was fun at a party. Then I think things got a little bit more serious with the amount of money and also an awareness. When you travel and see how people suffer really, you know, it's not just an idea.
I think life is a learning process, and you read books, you read stories, you empathize with people. I had always empathized with people who have it tough in life, and the world is full of people who don't get enough to eat.